Who knows where Mr. Maestro goes? Only the shadow knows.
That was fun. Thank you, Mr. Maestro. I want to thank you for being here. I always try to see all the responses and respond back to you, and I know a handful of you have really made the effort to always come and watch me play, and I really appreciate that. So tonight I'm going to try a couple of different things, and please feel free to tell me if you like it, if you don't like it, or if you have any thoughts, because your thoughts all spin creativity for me as well. The first song I'm going to play is When October Goes, perfect for this time of year, and it was written by Barry Manilow, and the lyrics are by Johnny Mercer, and it's just one of those songs that always sits with me. I always know it. There's a handful of songs over the years that, for some reason, I don't ever want to forget, and this is one of them, so When October Goes. When October Goes by Barry Manilow. I'm going to play a piece for you by Bach, and he wrote it in 1722, and along comes this century 130 years later, and a French composer wrote a melody over it. So it's well known as the Ave Maria, but it's the Bach Prelude in C. is really interesting. Sometimes I forget that I'm even breathing. My breath seems like so low. And I think that's one of the reasons why they say that listening to music or playing music or learning music is so healthy for you, because even though it can be very stimulating and maybe raise your heartbeat, somehow it just has a very calming effect on you. So the next little combination I'm going to play for you is, it's a partner thing that I put together. It's a little piece by Handel, and then, is it another piece by Bach? Gosh, my brain is just having, yes, that's right. It's a piece by Handel, but the Bach piece is a modern variation with kind of a jazz waltz feeling to it. So I've always liked this, and so here's my Handel-Bach partner song. Watchful eye tonight for some reason. I'd like to play another piece for you that I've been practicing. I haven't warmed up on it today, so hopefully I'm going to be happy with the way I play it. But this is a piece by Brahms. It's an intermezzo, and Brahms was well known more for writing symphonic music, I think, than piano music. But I've been fond of this piece, and the beginning, to me, when I first learned it, I didn't find it really catchy, but I love the middle part, and let me give it a go. So, an intermezzo by Brahms. 50-50 theory that 50% of the people in the world play or have played the piano. Have I told this story before? That's okay, piano's all about repetition. And the other 50% wish they have or wish they'd start. So whichever part you are on, if you're on the working, practicing, getting better, stay there. And if you've never done it, jump in and try it. It's just so much fun. I have a couple of songs to play for you, a couple of originals. I looked through a lot of material that I've written, trying to figure out what I wanted to play. Don't really have any Halloween material for you. And I found these two songs. One I wrote, I think this year, and I'll have to look at the date on the other one, but I just don't have names for them. And I noticed with other artists that you'll write a song, however you manage to come up with the idea, and for some reason you don't really have a feeling what the title is going to be, and you just let it stay there. And after a while, a title will fit in. I usually write down words that I read in poems, 2 or 3 little short passages, and I think, oh, that would make a good song title. So these last 2 pieces I have for you, they're both no-name pieces. So here's no-name number 1, and let's see when I wrote it. Actually, before I play it, I have a quote for you, and it's by Scott Adams, and he said that creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. That's by Scott Adams. So let's see what we have here. By the way, I'm happy to tell you, I had an eye test today, right? The first one probably in 25 years, the doctor was impressed. But in this light, I can't see these notes without glasses. So let's see, this is, that's the one I'm going to play first. Yes, this one I wrote on 2/12/12, so gosh, 7 years ago. And it doesn't have a title, so maybe you'll help me name this no-name number 1. in Poland somewhere. Chopin really happens to be my favorite composer. And there's a place somewhere in Poland where you can walk by a building and you can hear somebody playing his music. They have varied artists playing there, but you can't really see the person playing. You could just hear them. And that's part of the reason why I have the video mic on the video here, just showing my hands, not really showing my face, because I prefer you just listen and not be distracted by anything else. So here is my last piece today. Again, one that I don't have a title for. I'll tell you when I wrote it. Oops. Okay. So this is No Name number 2, and I wrote it in on 8/10 of this year. So 8/10 is August, right? Yes, on August. Maybe you can help me come up with a title for this one as well. again for joining me. And I'd like to leave you with a quote by Harriet Beecher Stowe. And she said, "Never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn." So I'm not giving up. See you next time. Bye.